I went and checked. He'd never played the hero on professional record before. He had a lot of Tusks, Clockworks, Darkseers, kind of carrying them through TI.
Spirit Breaker.
And yeah, Spirit Breaker. And we haven't seen I mean, his Undying in the first game didn't actually get to do that much because the lane didn't end up working out that well. That, like, unlosable aggressive dual lane that I spoke about being so difficult to deal with didn't actually work. They overextended a bit, ended up dying in the lane. And in that sense, the analysis is consistent with the series so far, that when XZ's game goes well, it goes well for them. Another interesting fact about this draft is the Ember Spirit ban, because I feel like, despite the fact that both teams that had Ember Spirit won, didn't feel like the Ember Spirit was especially the reason either of them won. But clearly respect for the hero, and CDC say, well, we don't have first pick this time, we know you'll first pick the hero, let's just ban it out.
Yeah.
Also does protect the PL pick if they do want to go back to it, which I wouldn't be too surprised to see them go back to it now.
I think if they go for PL, Cloud9 will not be afraid to go for Ritsu's anti-mage. So CDC most likely have that in the back of their mind right now. They're thinking, it's our last ban in the second phase. Anti-mage is still out there. We know that Ritsu is an absolute beast on the hero. And if we do want to pick Phantom Lancer, if they do want to go aggressive with 4 heroes and have Ritsu farming away, which Cloud9 would like to do from time to time, then yeah, the anti-mage or something like that would be definitely where they want to aim toward. Night Stalker again. So they banned it out in the first phase last game, right? With Doom Night Stalker. They still want it out here.
It's really a sign to me. I mean, Night Stalker, Alchemist, Doom are all heroes that have become really strong in 6.85. But it's sort of a sign to me of, like, not yet adapting fully, so rather just ban the problem heroes than have to try and deal with them in a big tournament. So I think that's respectable enough. They haven't had enough opportunity to play yet in China, so to expect them to develop ways to deal with the new power heroes this early on is maybe unreasonable. And the fact that there's not actually that many of them makes it reasonable enough to ban them all. They'll go back to the Queen of Pain, which can be played by Shiki or Aggressive. It was actually one of Aggressive's main heroes historically, but it is a hero Shiki can play, and there's that Ritsu anti-mage, straight up, not even waiting for the PL pick, just saying, we're going to the anti-mage.
Yeah.
And
I think it's the best way to go. You know you're going to be able to dominate through a Queen of Pain, you know you can kill off a Winter Wyvern, and if you do get picked up by Winter's Curse, you have something, so far at least, with the Tusk Snowball that can see.
Yeah, it's not surprising to me as well, despite the fact that Ritsu did farm his way kind of back into the game last game. Because his start was so bad last game, it's not surprising to me that they kind of revert to something much more stable and safe. Just like, let's go for a solid draft, we know that works, we know the lanes will work, we can see how the progression of the game will be. Because if you're 1-4-3-7, if you're Cloud9, you might be thinking, we actually dominated the first game. The second game, sure we struggled, but there was the surprise Enchantress pick, the lane stage didn't work out at all the way we planned it, and like if we just like bring things back to a more kind of stable and predictable narrative, then we're probably looking pretty good based on the way the first game went.
See, what you're looking at now. Go with this, because, you know, we talk time and time again about Aggressive and his hero pool, but hey,
There's another curveball.
Where the flip is that?
This must be a greedy Darkseer. Yes, it's greedy 4-position Darkseer. Or maybe even aggressive Darkseer Brood dual lane. Is that a thing?
Like, all of these images flashed through my head. I considered the Darkseer mid as like my third option. I think the play here is to do like a one-roll anti-mage and just go fight. Like, you've still got options here, right? You can play mid-Broodmother. I know it was mainly South American teams that ran the mid-Brood. Then we saw Secret do it in their old iteration with Zai. And I'm pretty sure we saw a couple of Southeast Asian teams. I don't know if any Chinese teams played mid-Broodmother, but it's definitely an option. Queen of Pain could still then go safe lane, Darkseer off lane. They have options, it's just like you said, it's a curveball. Cloud9 have no freaking idea what's going on right now, and I think we just have to wait and see.
And anti-mages don't like dealing with broodmothers, by the way. Like, not one bit. I mean, once they're farmed, it's easy, but early on, like, anti-mage depends completely on supports to handle that lane.
Yeah, it's historical. You know, back to what, TI2? TI1 even. I know definitely TI2, maybe TI1, TI3. But for a good year and a half, Broodmother against Anti-Mage. The Brood was picked specifically for that matchup. You spam your spawn spiderlings, not just for killing creeps, but also onto the hero. Before he has Ring of Health, Anti-Mage has a god-awful HP pool. He has nothing to deal with you right-clicking him and nuking him down, really. Handle, honestly. Very, very difficult.
Oh, PPD described Q as a drafting genius at some points, and the way things are shaping up, like... this series, yeah. After the first game, where Q's draft felt really lackluster for like, there's nothing new here, this is just like, you did this at ESL, you're still not doing new things. All of a sudden, game 2, there's that Enchantress, and here we've got, again, a very interesting draft, and it's well designed, and to be honest, Disruptor as a pick there for Cloud9 is risky, I want to say. Disruptor is a hero that doesn't play well from behind at all. Plays extremely well with momentum, but
like, said they played Brood mid at TI.
Reserve time.
I don't remember this happening.
That's a very easy thing for me to check. I will check that.
Don't remember that. Disruptor?
10 seconds remaining.
See this. Displacement, great, but that shoves Tusk into the offlane. AA maybe can duel lane up there with him, but this mid-hero for Brax, it has to tie everything together, and CDC, get rid of the Venomancer, a hero that has seen a lot of popularity of late, to control teamfights and just pull off, really. That obnoxious gale of venomous gas that is exuded by this awful Bananamancer. Now, Cloud9,
10 seconds remaining.
what do you look at here? Rubik's, there's Earthshaker. Shaker could be nice. Then there's the Silencer Man himself. Global Silence could pretty potent here against AA, against the Anti-Mage, against Disruptor. Though you are missing some good, solid, guaranteed lockdown. You don't have hexes, you don't have stuns. So I think there are a few options here that you can actually look to ban out. The Lion, the Shadow Shaman are two of the biggest ones I'm really looking at here. But no, go with the Silence. It was sort of tier 2 on my list, but against the combo plays, worthwhile banning.
So I've checked. XZ did play Brood all 3 times they picked it at TI, and now that I'm thinking about it, I think that they did actually run it mid. I think it might have even been the one time they picked it against EG. I seem to remember it being against Sumail's Windrunner. But I mean, it's still XZ. It's still like their offlane player who plays the hero exclusively. It's just that I think they mixed the lanes in the one game. But. I don't understand, like, what are the roles? It's got to be 4-position Docs here, right?
We're going back to the days of support Broodmother. Do you remember a player called Ducky?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember his support Broodmother?
Yes, from Mom Equals Toilets, and they would do like Brood Tinker or Brood Possum or... But I don't think it is. I think it's 4-position Docs here.
Yep, got a Docs here. Q on the Winter Wyvern. Oh dear.
I mean, let's be honest, this is already, like, out there enough and creative enough from CDC, for my liking, to go at the support Broodmother. That would be, like, one step over the cliff. Would be cool to see.
That happen.
Yep. And, yeah, interesting to see how they set up the lanes, because I think it is true, actually, that CDC were happy to shift the Brood into the mid lane when they thought it would be to their advantage, so... Presumably, though, they'd want a big part of the pick is they wanted to be against the Anti-Mage. I'm just interested to see if this is a greedy Darkseer going to the jungle, or Darkseer that goes aggressive with the Brood and just says, "Here's an Iron Shell, harass people."
Honestly,
5 seconds remaining.
Honestly, what's going on now? XZ, people that only sort of saw him at TI5, he was like the player that made the Midas Dagon Brood build. Really. He was the guy that sort of pioneered it, showed it off, and really said to guys, hey look, Necroon is nice and all, but if you go Dagon, you can kill people. You're going to kill support in a matter of seconds. With Dagon spawn spiraling, you just absolutely slaughter them. See what he goes for this game. It was interesting seeing the sort of diversity in skill builds and item builds that people go for. Especially when we've... Oh god, wrong button. Sorry guys, wrong one. It's been interesting seeing Europe, you know, kind of switch away from all of this, and... Now, a lot of the CIS players, like the Fake Boots Orchid, sometimes Midas, but then they go into like BKB, AC, Butterfly, Blink, to a Brawling Brood. Actually group up with it.
So, the moment, it looks like Ritsu is like starting in the lane.
30 seconds to battle.
Am I wrong in saying that? I mean, look at the relative positions of the players on Cloud9.
We have no idea what they're doing. Like, we genuinely have no idea what people are doing here. Brax is middle lane. I am 85% sure of this. MSS could be anywhere. He's got a fair amount of regen and scout shield, so I think they want to put him against the Brood with a disruptor. Maybe. Disruptor has boots, which is kind of interesting. 1437 starts with the boot. I don't know. Find out in a second, I guess. Aggressive Slaughter up to top. That's going to be certain. Cheeky mid over on the Queen of Pain with Q. Cross to block up the creep wave. Garda. Hey. That's what you wanted. At least for now, anyway. Darkseer and Broodmother. Oh, man.
Yeah.
If you wanted a hero to disrupt a one-roll melee carry, it's Broodmother. Or it's Darkseer. Why not both?
So,
Why not Zoidberg? Why not throw everything at this Anti-Mage who isn't there? Anti-Mage is top.
yeah, the lane's being dodged, and that's probably the best possible thing for Cloud9 at this point in time. Because I don't think Anti-Mage handles the Brood lane well, especially not with the Darkseer there. I don't think Disruptor actually helps that much there. Disruptor's like in many ways a win more hero. Like if things are going quite well, they go extremely well because of Disruptor, because that glimpse power, but fighting from behind, the tools are actually not really available to Cloud9. In many ways, their strategy is kind of like Anti-Mage plus 4 aggressive heroes that want to make kills and make space in a proactive kind of way. So I think I worry a bit for Cloud9 if CDC do start with like a big lead, do start applying pressure early on. So we'll have to see how they try to do that at the moment. Looks like God is happy to just go farm the jungle and get a bit greedy.
Triple Iron Shell, man. Triple Iron Shell. He gets himself up to what, basically level 3. It's going to be very close to level 3. So level 2 Iron Shell is going to be up and running incredible. While up at top. 437 takes a bit of heat. A little bit of ice cold there. SVG returns it with a chilling touch back on that Slardar. This bottom lane is really the place I want to keep my eyes on, you know? Tusk against Broodmother. Tusk with the stout shield with the ice shards. That Mango, you know, his mana regen isn't great. He's not got the sustained damage output that the Brood does, really. But he's dealing with this okay. You know, he's handling himself very well. And XZ does not have a sentry. The Radiant Sentry has defeated Fire Sentry and all is good with the world. Up at top, Garda. Oh boy, regen's up, surges forward, SVG. There's a little bit of trouble here. There's no Oxy burn, but there will be in 5 seconds time on 1437. Glimpse is on cooldown. Aggressive walks forward. He's going to get the crush into at least one, maybe two. Gets the one with 1437 taking a beating. But Ritsu, he wants to get the damage in as well. Aggressive dropping low, needs 2 hits here, and Ritsu can't find it. A dive in 1437 onto the tower, and Garda, he's behind the trees. They'll TP in to try and kill him off, but he's tanky. He's got his iron shells up. SVG,
He's going to farm a bit.
He's going to farm the creeps. Slowly but surely, he's dying.
Can he surge out of here?
Yes, he can. Yes, he can. No, he can't. Ritsu, not today. Blink forward and swipe with a blade.
To be honest, I think that's like a minimal justice, if you ask me. Like, if he had gotten away there, it's just like highway robbery. Like, you just feel too bad for Cloud9 that everything goes against them. It's still a major victory for CDC, I think.
I'm gonna say that Queen of Pain was being slaughtered mid by Brax. Jiki is getting outlane. Queen of Pain up against his Lina. Oh, of course. 2 points in Shadow Strike and not going for the max screen build to deal with this wave push. The out from Dragon Slave can be difficult to deal with if you don't position yourself correctly. That's cheeky. Always blink forward aggressively and look for the plays.
I think that this lane favors Lina a little bit. I mean, a Quap can definitely win the lane if it plays better, but all else equal, I think it does favor Lina a bit. And it's been well discussed now that Shiki's not like a completely exceptional mid lane. I mean, he's a professional player, he's excellent, but he's not like that top level. It's well documented since TI went.
Is screwed. He's got the snowball here, but he got fully surrounded by these spiderling shards. It's not going to do too much for you. As the Iron Shell from Garda just chases you down. You got Broodlings to attack the tower. The Iron Shell to do the damage.
Garda's just unbelievable. You know, it's something that annoyed me during TI when people started realizing CDC is a good team. They were just talking about aggressive and cheeky and aggressive and cheeky, and then cheeky less and aggressive more, and then XZ a bit. There wasn't that much talk about the supports. PVD commented about the drafting of Q. But as someone who watched this team long before the international, honestly, I think that he's for the longest time been a standout player at being able to adapt and be creative and do interesting things. And you and I actually crossed him a lot together.
You talk to two hipster, you.
No, it's not me in particular, right? We we both watched him, and it's honestly like what he's done so far in this game, his game impact as like a supposedly greedy 4-position Darkseer is just incredible. It's just absolutely incredible. Farms himself up early levels, ganks the safe lane, ganks the off lane. He's playing it as though he's a support.
Brax. Here's the blink forward, aggressively from Shiki. Brax, Laguna Blade ready with a vacuum back. They get a... What? Sonic Wave flies in time, but Garda is chasing down 1437. Shard, great play there from MSS to get the kill. Back onto the Darkseer. The Sonic Wave Laguna Blade timing because of that vacuum from Garda, though. Holy shit, I've never seen something like that in my life.
Yeah. If the Laguna Blade didn't go off at all, and Quap had lived, that would have been like a huge success for CDC. As it happens, it's probably a slight win for Cloud9 for one trade in the end. But we do have Aggressive who's now farming on that off lane, and Zed went to the safe lane. As a result, Ritsu is now switched as well, and Aggressive is switching back to.
Oh goodness, what's going on? What's going on? Well, Anti-Mage gets a little bit of free farm. At least for what, 20 seconds or so?
Oh, here comes the Darkseer. The Brood's not there yet, but Darkseer will do his best to cause trouble for now.
Well, Darkseer has level 3 Iron Shell. Anti-Mage is the same level as the support Darkseer.
Yeah, it's not great for it. I mean, he's still got the most CS in the game, and it's definitely not the level of last game triple Iron Shell while forcing the blink back. It's not like last game where the start was like abominable for Ritsu.
Oh yeah,
but it's bad. It's still bad.
It's okay. 3 for 13.
No, yeah, he's doing okay. It's just like you get the feeling that there's a search that could like shut him down in the next 5 minutes. Whether or not it's actually going to happen, I don't know.
Well, with a double Iron Shell, he's definitely in a little bit of trouble here, even with his Ring of Health. Mid lane, Brax is done towards the mid though. Shiki 1-on-1, sure, Brax is 1-on-1 as well. But what does MSS accomplish? What's his role in this game? Does he go around looking for kills? He is level 6, you know, you could set up pretty nicely onto this Queen of Pain. They're off a couple of times.
Are these the lanes now, by the way, for CDC?
Yeah.
That just... Okay. I wonder if we'll see XZ ganking into a lane, or if he's just gonna be jungling.
Garda. Feet. Push you back a little bit. It's weird, yeah. I mean, XZ has Quelling Blade, Soul Ring. He can farm the jungle, it's fine, but the whole point of the Broodmother pick, you know, against the anti-mage to pressure him to stop him farming on his bottom lane, especially on the dark side.
He's invisible. He's looking for something.
Finds Ritsu over here. They're pinging it out, actually. It's over here, but they probably expect just the Darkseer, not this Invis Queen of Pain. Yeah, the Broodmother pressure you get, you know, taking control of bot lane on this dire side, and then into the jungle. The extension. That's the important bit. Stop the anti-mage farming lane and then jungle at the same time.
He's come back. That's also, if the Brood's gonna be in the jungle, Darkseer's not actually. I mean, it's annoying to anti-mage, but he was still getting farm at a pretty good rate. And I think with the Brood here, you can much more aggressively slow down the anti-mage's farm. Top lane is actually action.
Oh, shards! Is that? Put him on the wrong side. Whoa, the glimpse back. They've caught him. They're going to play it out. We'll finish that one off as Q. Flaps the little wings over the trees and far away. Glimpse though, displacement is so good against heroes like Slardar, Queen of Pain, Darkseer. I mean, all of these heroes, you know, they're all about running in, diving, out to get their blink daggers as well. I think 1437 definitely at his fingertips is a hero that could completely break this game. CDEC.
Alright, Ritsu gets forced to blink into the trees.
Hide, anti-mage, hide!
It does look like it's going to be a Midas Rush by XZ. He's not too far from it.
Midas Dagon incoming? What do you reckon? Does he go back for his old school build?
I'm not... Maybe, actually. Because, honestly, I feel like... Timings here. In the next 10 minutes or so, if CDC starts just crushing the other 4 heroes, Anti-Mage might not get the space he needs. That's kind of how I saw it playing out initially. That CDC would actually disrupt the anti-mage a bit, but actually focus on destroying all of his teammates. And once they're on the back foot, they can't help him. I don't know where Radiant's courier died. Was that?
I watched it. I saw it all happen.
And is that the Spiderlings down here?
Yes. Treads for Ritsu were on it as well. Well, the gloves and the belt were anyway. Ritsu loses out on his treads, so that's, tankiness, farm speed, laning capability up against this Broodmother. Gone. Rough. That's rough to handle. Gonna go and find this Broodmother now. They need to hunt her down. Make sure they kill her dead. The dust is out. There go the shards as well, stopping XZ. The snowball forward. They'll get the kill. They'll get revenge for the little donkey, the courier that was.
Now art damned.
Yeah, it's just, if you look at the net worths, it's already starting to paint a picture which is a bit dire. If Lina were to die once or twice, all of a sudden you have a situation where it's like anti-mage plus the entire dire team at the top of the farm. It's a lot of pressure on Ritsu. Also on Brax, but more so I think on Ritsu because there's only so much Brax can do for his team as the Lina in this game.
SVG hiding in the trees, and he's going for a Midas on this ancient apparition. 437. A casual bracer just to tank himself up against the Broodmother. You know you're not going to get a Glimmer Cape or anything like that anytime soon, so just trying to deal with it in his own way. Spam braces. Get yourself as tanky you can. Brax, though, he's nearly got his Yule Scepter. I mean, this is going to be great, again, just like with this drop. Slowing down the aggression a little bit. Finding pickoffs and stopping the 5-man death ball. Is that like... I use the word death ball, and I know people are going to start getting pissed off. That's not a death ball strat. But, it's going to be this group up and kill shit kind of thing,
They know what you mean. I think it's totally fine.
There are people who...
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
Ritsu's getting destroyed by Spiderlings.
Bada has mech. Is this just like a whole bunch of tier 1s now? I don't feel like if CDC are grouped up that there's a whole lot C9 can do to them at the moment. I mean, CDC haven't wanted to group up because it gives anti-mage a lot of space. But with the mech, if they could force a bunch of tier 1s, it might actually be worth it now.
Going for Orchid. Ice Blast, first one of the game. Placement there. See the smoke coming out though. Maybe they expect it. If they saw, I think they're pinging it out. SVG's pinging it, saying, "Hey guys, there were numerous people grouped up in mid. Likely they smoked behind their tier 1, so play defensively, hide yourselves behind the towers, hide in the tree lines, and that's exactly what MSS and 1437 are doing. But is it enough? Is it going to stop the dive? It doesn't look like it is. Shiki blinks forward past MSS, and they're going to find him eventually, but he's got the snowball, he's got the shards. He's not going to escape this though. 1437 can static storm, he can field as well. Catches Shiki in Q, but he's already dead. MSS trying to TP out, but he's gone. Shiki, he can blink, he can get himself away, and Brax TP's into his own demise. 3 for 0, and a tier 1 tower. And they get a 1 in exchange to the Winter Wyvern.
Yeah, they really wanted the Quap though. The Winter Wyvern.
Yeah.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Well, the good news for Cloud9 is that Ritsu is getting space, and he's not that far from Battle Fury now. It's not going to be the world's best time, but it's going to be like an okay time. On top of treads. Bad news is that we're falling perfectly into that dynamic of anti-mage versus the world, which it's a hero that we've seen beat the world before in many professional Dota matches. But it's difficult. It's very difficult because his supporting cast in this game wants to create space by proactively making kills. That's what I think. I don't feel like they're heroes that stand around covering anti-mage. And if they keep falling behind, it just becomes that much more difficult for him to be in that position to carry the game for his team. So I think the focus is still on what they get done. And speaking of what...
Hey up. Sonic Wave. Off the mark a little bit there, Shiki. Still get SVG,
gonna chase?
Looks like they're chasing. Yeah, Blink Dagger's gonna be up as soon as... Oh, maybe not. A good stun. Brax finds the kill and looks away. Oh, that's far enough. Maybe they'll get vision. They want Garda instead. Q is here, but no curse. Doesn't have anything to save Garda from this destroy. Oh, maybe the Ice Shards have saved him for him. Brax gets the Yule Scepter up to stop the surge, though. So with the Dragon Slave in 1 second, Ice Shards will actually be the securing blow.
Yeah.
But Shiki escaped.
And exactly what I was talking about. If the other players on Cloud9 can keep getting this kind of value on the map, the team actually looks really good, I think, in this matchup as the game goes longer. It shouldn't be that easy for them to get that much value though. think that's the dive gone awfully wrong.
Yeah.
And good timing and positioning from Brax to be in the right place at the right time to burst down the slaughter.
Dire's top
Oh,
tower
it's going to be
is
Midas
under
into Orchid for your Broodmother. First Oblivion Staff is up. Now, I think that 1437 on the Disruptor can play that role you were saying, where you kind of play reactively for your anti-mage to stop the blinks in from like Slardar and Queen of Pain, you know. Send them back with Eclipse.
Ritsu.
But if your anti-mage is alone in his jungle and caught with Winter's Curse, it's just so easy for Slardar to blink forward and kill him. You know, crush a couple of hits with the app damage, and oh god, that damage.
Yeah, and I've been talking about how Anti-Mage could carry this game. The pressure is actually more on his teammates to be relevant, and I was commending that they've been relevant. But you get the feeling that if the Anti-Mage does get picked off a few more times,
under attack.
then their relevance is actually going to be undermined quite significantly, and
Structures are
oh,
fortified.
they do get another kill.
Radiant
Probably lose their tier 2 at the bot lane in return.
So many spiderlings. Bloody everywhere. Oh wow, Cloud9. Trying to fight this, it looks like. Coming up, AM, TP's top to go and farm. Brax, MSS, both down here.
Aggressive wants to go in. He's lining up for a blink, I think.
Got the snowball, but yeah, you're right. Aggressive goes on to Brax is dead. Brax is dead. Cheeky, Sonic Wave ready in 1 second. He's just lining it up. He's just waiting for the perfect moment. There we go. Across them both. Ice Blast. It's going to hit, but it's not going to get the target they wanted. Cheeky escapes with about 30 health. Sure enough, Ancient Apparition gets his Midas, but what does it do at this point? You're losing tier 2s, you're losing heroes. And losing a number of them at the same time. With Roshan alive still, and it feels like it's much later in the game than it actually is, you know? It's one of those games, again, where CDC have such a dominant hold on the game. They've got these big items coming up, the gold is flowing for them. And they're looking for Roshan pre-20 minutes, which, okay, with a Slardar is relatively simple to do. Good Aggressive's build. The 4401 build. I mean, we've seen a lot of people going for 1 point and bash occasionally, but maxing out sprint.
Yeah, he just wants that chasing power, that active pressure around the map. They're gonna get the rush for sure. And to go back to Ritsu, I mean, I've been saying, for the amount of pressure he's been under, it's not that bad a timing he's gonna get his battle free, especially since he's got the Treads, Poor Man Shields, Quelling Blade. He's even got that Ring of Regen building towards the Blads ready. Already bought that right before he died, I'd guess.
No, he's had that for a
But
while
Brood-
to deal with Darkseer Brood.
Okay. But Brood is Orchid, so Brood himself is gonna die now, for sure. Yeah, he's dead. But generally speaking, Anti-Mage with the Battle Fury is not gonna be safe on the map. With the Brood with the Orchid, and Queen of Pain's nearly got an Orchid as well. There's the Wyvern ulti, there's the Starter Blink. If Anti-Mage farms a lane on his own, while he can't see enemies, there's just always that risk that he dies.
Radiant's top
And that's until he gets Manta Style for sure. And even once he has Manta Style, there's certain initiations that would catch him out.
Yeah, Blink stun into Orchid. We've already seen a couple of hits here from... Oh! Oh, yeah. I'm looking at this as well. I know.
Yeah.
You go for it. You go for it.
Aggressive is going back for a Hand of Midas. Yeah, he's decided that... I mean, I actually don't mind this too much. I think that Midas on a lot of heroes after your first key item is a lot better than before your first key item.
bottom tower.
And in this case, Slaughter is kitted out with the Blink to do what he needs to do. And to actually keep up, if the game happens to keep... Well, if the game happens to like keep going quite long, Slaughter is not a flash farmer. It's a hero that can fall behind. And then just because his team has 1 or 2 bad fights and the game stabilizes in terms of farm, suddenly they have this hero that's way behind. So I can definitely get behind this decision. I don't think it's going to affect their playstyle. It's not that they're going to start farming now all of a sudden.
It's a fallback. We used to see Loda do this a ton as well with Slardar in particular. Yeah, I agree. I think heroes like Slark and Slardar, where Shadowblade Blink are so vital in your skill build, in your item progression, come up relatively early so you can get these fights and initiations going. Going back from Midas just to farm flowing is definitely...
Dire's top tower is
Ritsu
under
is invis towards middle lane, aggressive, pounds into the tower. Ice shots coming down from the north, ice blasts coming from top lane as well. Not going to really stop them from doing this, honestly. They want this tower, they'll take it. Top is the trade-off though, as Brax takes that one down. Working his way into Aghanim Scepter. Point booster, and Ogre Club, purchased up by him. Anti-Mage, he buys Battle Fury. And like you said, go! Tries to go down bottom lane, realizes, hang on a second, they're taking tier 1 mid, they'll go bot, they'll go through jungle. So I've got to move mid, things come out from the rest of his team saying, don't bloody go there, they'll jump on you. So I've got to go top. It's pushed into the tier 2 because of the great work Brax did, taking down tier 1 and shoving the lane. But if you sort of rewind 30 seconds, would it have been better to have Anti-Mage up at top pushing than have the rest of the heroes mid? Probably not, because C-Deck reacts by moving all the heroes top to deal with Anti-Mage and taking a tier 1 up at top. It's this impossible situation that, you know, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't as Cloud9.
It's such vital analysis as well, because the strength of the hero Anti-Mage, the whole way that the hero's played with the Rash Battle Fury build, that's how it's been played for like the last 3 or 4 years. It depends on not just getting the Battle Fury, but having space to make use of it, to dash farm. And if you don't find that space, then the fact that you got your Battle Fury, regardless of whatever timing it is, really that relevant. It's not like Battle Fury is a great item for Anti-Mage to fight with. It's there so that he can jump quickly using Blink between camps and farm a lot of the map really fast. So he's going to need that space, and he's got some right now, but I think Exed spotted him.
Can I kill him though? Orchid is there, onto Ritsu, Blink stun. Yep, that's the death of the Anti-Mage. Shiki dies though. Up on top with a vacuum wall. Brax set it all up with the Yulsep, yeah he did. They got the combo down onto him.
Edek will take that trade all day long though. Up for Anti-Mage, like, whatever, they're very happy with it. And actually, 1437 is in trouble here too.
Is he dead though? Yep! Aggressive is everywhere! This Slardar's got like a flipping global blink or something. Oh, Broodmother, you are in trouble. Brax walking through the spiderlings, and there's a LSA down onto XZ. Cold fit, feet, rocking, aggressive jumps back in. He's got Aegis though. Not a big worry for him.
Yeah, the most recent buff to Slaughter actually, he only has 5-second downtime on sprint. That's what I mean. In addition to Blink Dagger with no mana cost and sprint with no mana cost and pretty short cooldown, you actually it's surprising that Aggressive hasn't played this hero more often, because it suits him in the sense that it can just be everywhere all the time. To all the fights, don't need boots of travel. It just runs around the map.
Run wherever you can. The weird thing is, Aggressive is 0, 2, and 7. He's got 7 assists but no kills. Is it Broodmother stacking them all up? Yeah. 3 and 4. Who else is there? Who else has got all the kills? Brood! Brood is 6, 3, and 4. Half the kills.
What is this weapon Slaughter is holding actually? It's like gigantic.
It's a TI Immortal. Yeah.
It's a bludgeon. Wow.
It's not a club, you know, it's not a mace, it's not a sword, it's not an axe. Bludgeon.
Pretty terrifying stuff. Bludgeoned to death by a giant fish.
Slardar. The ugly devil. Look at you. The underbite, glaring eyes, the small little nose. Tendrils as well. And people have said that Slardar is actually the female anglerfish. Oh my god, it's getting late now. Anglerfish. Jeez. 4 AM. Been up since 11 AM. It's gonna get interesting, guys. There's another best of 3 coming up after this one. What did we say it was? EG against LGD, right?
Yeah, EG vs LGD with the winner match in the other stream. That's a BKB very soon for Exit, and once he has that, all those times we've seen him get killed, none of them happen anymore. I think there's actually no way to kill Exit once he has BKB, unless you just lock him down, like, unless he doesn't get to press his BKB, or hotkey it, or obviously. I'm not suggesting you'd have to click it, obviously. I mean,
hey,
sorry, it's late.
It depends on, you know, their preference. People like to click on their abilities and their items. I mean, it's just like some people like to use legacy key.
Yeah, that's I'm guilty of that.
Really?
But I feel like clicking on your BKB is like, okay, then there's actually a chance they can kill him before he BKBs.
Like, no, I don't know. I've seen the speed at which some people can click, like move their mouse and click. Like honestly.
Yeah, there's actually a smoke from CDC here. In the game, which had kind of slowed down a bit, now they're gonna find Ritsu. He's gotta be dead again. Yep.
100%. 100%.
It's so painful being an anti-mage. You've got your Battle Fury, but you don't have your Mansa, and there's just 2 enemies with Orchid running around the map, and every time one of the Orchid people combines with the Slaughter, you're just dead. And it's not clear what Cloud9 do. Are they meant to all camp around the anti-mage? Because then they just get forced into a fight that they're gonna lose. If they split up, then when he gets caught out, he's always dead.
Feels like Game 2 again, where they have good high ground defensive capability, and a hero who can snowball and get up a little bit later on in the game. But it's that avenue from A to B or A to C that they're missing. Right now, they're just being... CDEC, again, have full control of Roche Pit. There's no chance of Cloud9 getting into the Roche. There's no sort of hero that ties things together for Cloud9. CDEC this game, you know, they've got Darkseer, the Crush, Winter's Love, and Winter's Curse. Cloud9 in the last game, what are they had Vacuum into Curse, but they had no damage. They had the sort of AoE teamfight heroes, but they didn't have that raw damage output hero. And in this game, it kind of feels the same. They've got the raw damage, but they don't have the hero to bring people together.
Yeah, my concern is that they picked Disruptor with Anti-Mage, and it feels like...
Radiant's middle
I don't know,
tower is under
Disruptor feels like a hero that really needs your team to be aggressive and be kind of snowballing and making kills. It doesn't contribute that much when you're playing reactively. But Anti-Mage a lot of the time does force your team to be reactive. If your Anti-Mage is split pushing and the rest of your team is just trying to like deal with whatever comes up. And certainly playing from behind as they are in this game, I just don't think they get full value out of the Disruptor at all. I mean, in the hero's defense, pickoffs they've been able to get have mostly been centered around him. But it's just not been enough. There's not really freedom for Cloud9 to go around the map.
They're in this for the long haul. They are doing what you were saying. They're going to group around the Anti-Mage,
under attack.
try and, you know, get some value here and there, slow down the push from CDEC as much as they can. But
I think CDC is smelling it and just helping themselves to some towers.
see, the thing is, like, Brax is farming decently still. Ritsu, he's got a way to go, but can still build himself up. You know, it's not going to be the same Anti-Mage we see time and time again, where he's 4, 5, 6, 10,000 net worth ahead of his counterparts all of a sudden. But once he gets these items, can CDEC deal with him? He can blink onto the Queen of Pain, onto your Winter Wyvern. There's no BKB yet for your Quap. The BKB coming up for the Slardar, and oh god, they're looking. They are going so deep in. Cloud9, they're playing very passively. Hiding behind tier 3s almost here.
Tower is under attack.
I think the
Dire's structures
saving grace actually for Cloud9 might be this Ancient Apparition. And we're comparing how Western AAs often get the Midas and the Chinese ones usually don't. And this is a game where I think if AA doesn't go Midas, the game's over right now. And because he went Midas, he's going to actually get to the Ags under such a pressured situation. I mean, there's not been a lot of space for him. His team's been under pressure all game, and he's still getting to his Ags at a good timing for level 2 ulti. And if anything can be a difference maker at this point, I think that's it.
The game's slowing down now. So no one's had a kill in a decent while. CDEC have gone back to farm. But Cloud9, they've got the power with Lina to go and blow someone up. Level 3 Laguna Blade with Ags upgrade. Anti-Mage is given room to farm up at top, no one's stopping him. They're grouping up, they're de-warding. Cloud9 are doing a great job right now of de-warding the map. They've got a gem over on MSS. If they can keep this going for another 5 minutes, another 7 minutes... Oh, there's a BKB on Quap. Things are going to get very tight very quickly.
This is historically another one of those CDEC things, although it's not unique to them. It's for a lot of actually top teams. The timing that they often wait for when they've got a lead that's extending gradually over time is when everyone gets BKBs. And Slardar's on his way to a BKB. He's going to have it very, very soon. He'll have it after Rush. Queen of Pain's got BKB. Darkseer is, I think, building towards a BKB. Broodmother has BKB. And you don't really need your Wyvern to have BKB. And honestly, once they have 4 BKBs, I mean, what exactly are they worried about? Lina's got Axe, that's it, right? That's...
immortality.
It's like... I suppose AA's Ags ulti can stick on you through BKB and vex you afterwards, but it's not going to do anything during the BKB. If CDC push your base and force a fight and just 4 of them BKB...
You can still shatter through the...
Yeah, but what's dealing the damage?
Laguna Blade.
That's, yeah, so you can kill one person.
One person.
Right, and for everyone else, just kind of pray and hope for the best. Maybe they tank the tower too much.
That's the thing, like, I was going to say, if you kill the Quap, then it's all great. That's the hero you want to look for. But with the Aegis? Yeah, it's difficult. And now Triple B is done, right? 150 gold, 140 gold for aggressive. Finish that one up. And Garda, Hey up.
Yeah,
Blink,
fourth
Mech,
one.
Soul Ring, and an Ogre Club.
Got to be another BKB, and it's not even that far off. I don't know if they need to wait for it. It's not that big a deal on the Darkseer because he can stand back initially. It's gonna be interesting to see the approach from CDC. How soon they force something. They've got the Aegis. They've got all these BKBs. Are they happy to wait? Anti-Mage has been found. He's actually got Manta now, so he doesn't just die automatically.
Give it an item. Yeah. Now, do you still go Vlad's after all this? Because he doesn't have the Ring of Regen. He's so right. I don't know
No.
if you just skip Vlad's and say, hey, it's getting late in the day. I need big, hard-hitting items now. I need to get into my butterflies, my hearts, my things like that. Maybe even a BKB of his own. I don't know if that's going to do anything, though, with the Sonic Wave, amp damage, and all the crap coming at him anyway with the Winter's Curse as well.
Yeah, those are the... I mean, I think I would skip... I'm pretty sure he skips Vlad's. And I think if he goes BKB, that's a decision that they're going to be forced to fight soon. If he plans to just keep split pushing, I think the Manta should be enough to deal with the Orchids.
That's
Well,
the
he has
struggle I
to
see
assume.
them having now. You know, we've talked about Anti-Mage getting farm, but not really pointed out what he's going to be farming into after the Manta style. Because honestly, it's a rougher choice. It's a rougher situation deciding what to buy now once you have gold, and I feel it was actually getting gold. Because what item saves you? What item wins you? Like, okay, what item wins you the game?
Radiant's middle tower
Mage in this
is under
situation.
attack.
You know the push is coming. Aegis is Queen of Pain. They've got 3 BKBs. They've got Glimmer Cape. They've got all their ultis. They've got Jump Power. They've got Team Fight, AoE, Control. Buy an item now, or do you hope that this next fight goes amazingly, that you can just try and break free? Eventually, you even save for buyback here.
Radiant's middle tower is
I mean,
under
it's really is. There's just two decisions. If he thinks he has to fight soon, he's going BKB. Well, Disruptor's been caught out,
Okay.
saved by the snowball.
Well, in comes the back wall though. Oh, with the Cursor as well. Shiki gets the Sonic Wave, but Laguna Blade is down. Static Storm is there onto Garda and XZ. But the BKBs are here. Brax tries to kill one, but the Cold Embrace keeps Garda alive. The Manavoid doesn't do a damn thing. As Ritsu blinked away.
attack.
Lina and Disruptor both dead. Ice Blast. Oh, not hitting
Dodge.
Garda. A little bit too short.
And that's
The
actually.
push.
Radiant's middle tower.
I actually want to say it's in execution. It's a slight mistake, Shiki, to use the ulti way he does there, because when you've got the Winter's Curse on one hero with like 2 or 3 people attacking them, it's like, oh, they're all banished. I can just Sonic Wave, but it's dealing very little damage to most of the heroes. It's only really damaging the primary target. It might be worth it to burst them down, but ideally you want to try and release that nuke like right towards the end. It's tough. It's tough to do. It's just funny to see a Sonic Wave, maxed out Sonic Wave, go through a bunch of heroes and hardly damage most of them. That's it. That's my like minor complaint with what was ultimately a very successful fight for CDEC. And
Ritsu has the Oak Club.
yeah, he's going BKB. He has to be. It's
It's
like the only way to not go BKB is if he thinks that his team is somehow going to hold up and he's going to be able to split push to victory.
It's the old Sandra Nyasha on Anti-Mage. Good old Aghanim strat.
He's going to disassemble his Manta style to make S and Y. Is that what you're saying?
Of course, and then the ultimate orb goes into a Lincoln to stop him getting cursed up by the Winter Wyvern.
Because screw Manta style. I mean, that's just overrated on this hero.
Yeah, it defeats the concept of the hero. Why would you want illusions on the end? Honestly. Being built by this old brood mother. Battle Brood come into effect with BKB after Orchid and Butterfly, the triple Bs. Cloud9, they defended pretty well. They held high
tricky-
ground, they didn't lose a tier 3, they got Aegis, right?
Yeah, and they didn't even hit the air ulti. If they hit the air ulti, maybe it goes even better. The tricky thing about going BKB on anti-mage is I feel like in some ways it commits you. It doesn't feel like it's your progression at like playing the split push game. So in some ways it commits you to trying to get back into the game by winning a fight. And I almost think that even with a BKB they're not going to win a fight. So it's stuck between a rock and a hard place. If you were to not buy the BKB, they could definitely not win a fight. And if they're forced to try win the fight, then he probably needs to go for it. But the fight is still not favorable at all for them.
Stay in the trees, Ritsu. Stay in the bloody trees. Broodmother's coming hunting for you, but really she just wants to be wave. Mid pushing in. What is going to be their target of choice, though? This time, though, they don't have Aegis. 1 second lower on their BKB journey. Down to 9. You know, it's not a massive difference, but it's still. It feels like them being whittled away. CDC haven't broken Cloud9, you know? We're waiting for that last straw.
It's not obvious to me that they need to. I don't think they actually have to be in a huge rush. You're racing against the clock against the anti-mage in early game usually, but once you're this far ahead, it's not really that concerning, especially when you see he's going for the BKB, which is a fighting build. I suppose he hasn't bought the whole thing yet, and he could like still switch back if he decides to.
The
Would
fake
actually
BKB.
be fake BKB, exactly. Yeah, going back to this Disruptor pick, now that there's 4 BKBs up, what is Disruptor doing in this game? Like, what's his function at this point in the game? Is he gonna try and cast spells on Wyvern?
You smoke yourself. You wait. When the BKBs run out, reveal yourself and fight. You hope the rest of your team, or at least a number of your team, maybe one of your team, still alive to cast your spells on the enemies.
I mean, Tusk can still put people in snowballs. He can still punch you. Lina can ulti you. A's ulti will be on you. You could shatter. But Disruptor really just—it's like the hero becomes a big creep when everyone's in BKB. Obviously, if you get to that Ags, you can like preempt them. There's just—it's almost unfathomable to me at this point that he'll get to an Ags in this game, or any other item for that matter.
I am after the BKB. Do you reckon he goes Abyssal Blade next with all of these BKBs up again? Is it going to be worth it?
It's so tough. I mean, it's a natural extension of the I've decided we'll fight build. And again, so
Hearts and Butterfly.
Hearts of Butterfly could be as well. And I feel like if he does go for that Abyssal Blade, he's just going to be too squishy and he's going to die. There's not that much on his team. In the previous games, Cloud9 had a lot of stuff to supportively like protect and keep alive their core. In this game, they don't really have that. They've just got the Tusk that could put you into a snowball. Other than that, you're kind of on your own in terms of staying alive.
With the butter, you're giving yourself armor, attack speed, and that evasion against minus armor against the bashes and the right clicks out from CDEC is always going to be.
Do they see this AA ulti and go in mid? If they notice that AA just shot an ulti top lane, that might be a cue to actually. I don't know if they have the window. They want the rush. They've scouted the rush, and that's going to be a rush straight away.
What's the maths with Broodmother incapacitating Blight and Butterfly? Is it like 72.5% or something?
I don't know, but it's probably something like that. There's some kind of bad stacking. I mean, it's definitely not additive.
It's like 60 plus half of 35 or something. 17.5? Oh, 77.5? I don't know. It's lots. Anti-Mage is going to miss lots on the Broodmother. Lots and lots. Then you've got, oh god, no. Okay, Broodmother. This is really nasty. Mean! She's going for an Abyssal herself. And the thing is, we're looking at Anti-Mage maybe going an Abyssal against the 4 BKBs of CDEC. And thinking, okay, you can go and stun one up. There's 1 BKB and 1 target for CDEC over on Cloud9, and that's the AM. You jump him, you Abyssal, he dies.
Just so, I don't know. I feel like whoever gets ultied by Lina could die, and nobody else is going to die on the side of CDC. That's what it feels like to me when this fight breaks out. Lina ulti can kill someone and everyone else just won't be able to die. Maybe Anti-Mage could maybe kill someone if he commits himself and ends up risking dying himself, but that's about it.
Dire's top tower.
Look at Garda though. 2 sets of Arcane Boots over on this Dire team, knowing that a Mana Void could be the opener that C9 needs, but aggressive. Walks in here, he's still got BKB Aegis, so he's perfectly fine, attacking up the Static Storm. 1437, he got his spells off, as, oh god, Mana Void did nothing. Q walks back and he's got the curse! Richie's dead. 80 seconds until he can respawn, but he does, have buyback available, and he's got his BKB as well. They could defend this Rax. They don't have Glyph. They know that Wall is down and Aegis is gone. They don't have Mana Void. They've got Laguna Blade, they've got Ice Blast in 20 seconds. It's a tough choice now for Anti-Mage. Progression of items is incredibly important at the AM. So's your base. You're being dived behind your Rax, and MSS is dead. Both of them are buyback, both of them 52 seconds until they respawn though. And CDEC Looks like it's a free lane. Looks like it's a free lane for now. Maybe mid. Be on the second lane. Cloud9 decide to defend.
Has fallen.
I think there's this realization by Cloud9 that if Anti-Mage buys back, it's just like, yeah, he has to keep getting items. He just has to. That's like their only chance of winning the game.
Yeah,
So they have to find a way that doesn't involve him using his money on buyback.
It's like in the second LGD game, where they were losing out on Roshans, but even if you're losing so heavily, you've got to go and contest that third Roshan regardless. It's kind of the same situation. You know that you're losing racks, but you've got to hold on to the buyback. You've got to hold on to the gold. 1437 pummeled by a Sonic Wave and a good vacuum back. Still, Disruptor's not dead though. As Garda punched.
Ritsu's back up. He's TPing in.
Right.
This is the fight.
Misses the stun, and the BKB from Garda are actually going to allow him to escape with the surge. CDEC get away with daylight robbery, and with a mech up, Garda still doesn't die. Blink forward. Ritsu, he pops his BKB, turns the fight, but Shiki's got his number. In goes MSS. CDEC, they don't lose anyone. 1437 dies on the back end somewhere. Death by spiderlings or something, I don't know, but CDEC, they're just walking over Cloud9 at this point. Anti-Mage, only bought himself a salve in base. He's got a ring of regen still. Another lane of racks, surely gonna fall here as Brax. Oh, blinks away, Mana Void is good. Good Ritsu. Manta style to get yourself out of that orchid, I think, buddy.
Radiant's
CDC can just get out there.
attack.
No pressure on them to stay around. They got what they came for, and then some.
Ritsu's going for the Basher. He's going for the Abyssal. Knows he needs to fight.
Yeah, it's just such a tough spot that he's in. I feel like it probably is the right build. It doesn't make it a comfortable one. Doesn't make it a comfortable situation. Because it's so easy for them to catch him out the way they did at that bot Rax. Livingston starts fighting. If Winter Wyvern gets to ulti him and then just like stomp, he's dead in a matter of seconds if everyone turns around and focuses him.
Oh, Cloud9 by the skin of their teeth. Still in this game. Next Roshan. Gonna be very important. Very important, because with that, you know, CDEC could just end the game walking through. Nice.
Lotus Orb on Q actually, so tired of being mana voided, he's gonna turn those around. Or more likely just put it on one of his allies to reflect the Laguna Blade or deter it from even being used. But that's... yeah, I don't know. I've said it in pretty much every game we've casted in, I'm gonna say it now. We are now at the point where CDEC have to make mistakes to lose. It's absolutely like 100% in their control. They play the rest of the game perfectly. They definitely win the game. Simple as that.
Well, we were talking before about the sort of East-West divide and how we've seen it before. You know, Asian teams, Chinese, Southeast Asian teams, not not adapting quickly to the new patch or the new meta. And,
check Ritsu.
oh goodness gracious me! They found him with a Blink Crush. BKB Sonic Storm is there. And Q. Winter's Curse. AM has no buyback. The one hero that the last hope for Cloud9, and now 1437 is dead. I think that's it. CDC proving that China still got it. LGD, they dropped down to the lower bracket a little bit earlier, or they lose their first best of 3 anyway. There's group stages, but Brax, well, buyback from 1437. The buyback from Brax, throwing bodies into the meat grinder here as CDEC clear up one after the other. Brax gets a consolation kill over on Garda's Darks here, but 2-1 CDEC. They clear up. Oh, still got it.
Yeah, I didn't think any of these individual games were like completely decided by the draft, but I definitely think the series of all the stories the draft, because CDC lose that first game with a very predictable, obvious, classic CDSC draft, and the second and third games they come out with something quite different and look much more convincing and turn around the series quite convincingly, I would say.
Well, that's it for this best of 3. Our next one coming up is going to be the losers game. Losers game from Group A. We're going to have LGD going up against EG. Enough to 2 names I didn't think I'd really be saying there, but it's happened. Monkey Business and Virtus Pro are going to be in this match over on the Alpha stream. But I'm Durka, join me Scant. I am not entirely sure when the game will start. I believe there is a dinner break for the players for about half an hour. But I don't know how this has been affected by the schedule and how things have run over a little bit late, because that dinner break was meant to be p.m. New Orleans local time, which would have been 1 a.m. 1 a.m. CEST, I think. Yeah, a little bit of overlap. We'll be back. I'll let you know what's going on. But next game coming up on the stream, most likely, is going to be LGD against EG.